Today we are going way back in time to ancient India, to a place where science, spirituality, and architecture all collided to create something truly breathtaking. The Konark Sun Temple. Now, this isn't just a history lesson. This is about a masterpiece of engineering that honestly still has scientists scratching their heads. So let's get into it and uncover the science that's literally written in stone.
I mean, just think about that for a second. The land where stones used to speak. It paints this incredible picture of a time when buildings weren't just buildings. They were like living textbooks with all this knowledge just carved right into their foundations. And the Konark Temple, it might just be the greatest example of that ever.
So that's the big question, right? It just sounds impossible. How on earth could a structure built in the 13th century without a single piece of modern tech work with such unbelievable scientific precision? Well, believe it or not, the answers are right there, in the stone itself.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around the genius of this place, you gotta understand the big idea behind it. This temple wasn't built just to be a place to pray. Oh no, it was designed to be something so much bigger. So just for a little context, picture this. It's around 1250 AD. A king named Narasimhadeva I decides to build this thing. It takes 12 solid years and thousands of artisans to get it done. But what exactly were they all working on?
And this right here is the key to the whole thing. You have to stop thinking of Konark as just a static building. You have to see it the way its creators did, as a massive, life-sized replica of the chariot of the sun god Surya, literally pulling the sun across the sky.
And they were not messing around with the design. The whole thing sits on 24 gigantic stone wheels, each one an absolute masterpiece. And it's being pulled by 7 huge stone horses, one for each day of the week. See, nothing here was just for looks. It was all part of this incredible, working model of the universe. Now, let's zoom in on those wheels, because this is where the engineering goes from amazing to, frankly, almost unbelievable. They're not just decorations. They're probably the most famous and scientifically mind-blowing part of the whole temple.
30 seconds? What does that even mean? Well, that is the insane level of accuracy this 800-year-old stone temple had for telling time. Just let that sink in for a minute. A clock made of stone that was accurate to within half a minute. That's how they did it. Every single one of those massive wheels carved into the base of the temple is a working, super precise sundial. That's the secret. The entire temple is basically a collection of clocks.
And the way it works is just so brilliant and simple. Each wheel has 8 big spokes, which mark 3-hour chunks of time, and then smaller spokes in between. As the sun moves, its shadow sweeps across the wheel, and by seeing exactly where that shadow is, bam, you could tell the time with incredible accuracy. And it gets better. With 24 wheels, you get 12 pairs. And what do we have 12 of? Months of the year. So this temple wasn't just a clock. It was a giant, working stone calendar, a genuine time machine engineered right out of the earth. But believe it or not, the genius of Konark doesn't stop there. As if a giant stone clock wasn't enough, there are even more layers of insane scientific knowledge packed into its design and construction. The precision here is just staggering. The builders actually calculated the exact latitude and longitude, they accounted for the Earth's tilt on its axis, and they built it so that on the solstices, the very first ray of sunlight would shoot straight through the main entrance and light up the idol inside. It was a full-blown solar observatory.
Now, this next part sounds like something straight out of science fiction. Legend says that a massive magnet, a lodestone, was placed at the very top of the temple, balanced by other magnets. This supposedly created a magnetic field so strong that the main idol inside just floated in midair. I mean, that suggests a pretty sophisticated grasp of magnetic forces, doesn't it? And the temple wasn't just looking up at the stars. It had a very practical job here on Earth, too. Sitting right on the coast, its enormous peak was a critical landmark for sailors. The sun would glint off its top, creating a beacon, like an ancient lighthouse, that could guide ships home from kilometers away. They even engineered sound into the structure. Yeah, seriously. Certain pillars were carved in such a way that if you tapped them, they'd make different musical notes. This probably wasn't just for show. This acoustic design likely helped spread out vibrations from wind and stuff, making the whole building more stable. So clever. So the big question is
If this temple was this incredible marvel of science and engineering, why is it in ruins today? Well, the story of how it fell apart is almost as complex as the story of how it was built.
And the contrast is pretty jarring. What was once a perfect celestial observatory now has a collapsed main tower. The place where an idol supposedly floated in midair is now sealed off. The navigational beacon for sailors is now a protected ruin. It's kind of heartbreaking to see what was lost.
And there wasn't just one single reason for its decline. It was really a combination of things over 800 years. You have the constant salty sea winds beating down on it. It was damaged in attacks, which weakened the structure. And according to the stories, when that huge magnetic lodestone was removed, the whole building lost some of its stability. Add to that just the slow, steady march of time, and you get the glorious ruin we see today.
And yet, even as a ruin, what's left of the Konark Sun Temple proves a really powerful point. It's a monument to a time when science and faith were the same thing, a time when human ingenuity was so advanced that miracles really could be created, even in stone. It just makes you wonder, right? What other secrets of ancient engineering are still out there, just waiting to be rediscovered?